The state of Ohio took a great stride in protecting the life of unborn children Thursday when Governor Mike DeWine signed into law a ban on abortions after a heartbeat was detected from the developing child. But the noble pursuit of protecting children apparently wasn't something NBC News favored, seeing as they decried the law during Thursday's nightly news. And late today, Ohio's governor signed a law heavily restricting abortion. A second new law on the subject just this week, and opponents are gearing up for a fight, announced fill-in host Savannah Guthrie. Tacitly admitting NBC was part of the opposition, Chief White House correspondent Hallie Jackson described how critics condemn it as the most restrictive abortion law in the country, and what supporters celebrate as a victory, one certain to be challenged in court. She chided, going off the notion that banning abortion after detecting a sign of life was radical. Jackson went on to huff about a North Dakota law that outlawed the use of certain medical devices to carry out abortions during the second trimester. If there was somehow a question of NBC's position on the law, the on-screen headline read, "Governor signs controversial heartbeat abortion bill." What went unmentioned were the results of a Knights of Columbus/Marist poll that showed a minority of people thought abortion was fine that led into a pregnancy. Only 9% supported allowing abortions in the first 6 months. Turning to talk about an impending legal fight, Jackson derided how supporters of more restrictive laws appear increasingly emboldened, 46 years after the landmark Roe v. Wade ruling protecting reproductive rights. She also turned to Drexel University law professor David S. Cohen to stoke fear of pro-lifers. The anti-abortion movement is looking at this newly conservative Supreme Court and hoping that Trump's new justices, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, will vote to overturn a precedent that's almost 50 years old, he said, but Jackson failed to disclose that Cohen was a pro-abortion and LGBT advocate. He had also written numerous lefty and anti-Trump columns for Rolling Stone. "If you're hoping Trump will be impeached, be careful what you wish for," one of his headlines read, warning about a possible decade of President Mike Pence. Abortion rights advocates argue the new moves are unconstitutional with the legal fight headed from the states to the justices, Jackson optimistically added as she wrapped up her report. She also failed to speak with anyone who supported Ohio's law. The closest she came was a soundbite from Governor DeWine. Yet, there were 2 interviews with pro-abortion advocates as part of her report. The transcript is below. Click expand to read. NBC Nightly News, April 11, 2019, 7:13 and 22 seconds p.m. Eastern. Savannah Guthrie, and late today, Ohio's governor signed a law heavily restricting abortion. The second new law on the subject just this week, and opponents are gearing up for a fight. Hallie Jackson has the details. Cuts to video, Hallie Jackson, the Ohio governor signing today what critics condemn as the most restrictive abortion law in the country, and what supporters celebrate as a victory, one certain to be challenged in court. Gov. Mike DeWine, "It's the essential function in government to protect those who cannot protect themselves." Jackson, "The law bans abortions once a doctor detects a fetal heartbeat, which can happen as early as 6 weeks. This year alone, 13 other states have introduced or advanced similar legislation. Texas lawmakers just introduced an extreme bill, unlikely to pass, that could punish women who have abortions with the death penalty. And in North Dakota, a different new law makes it a felony for doctors to use surgical instruments like clamps in second trimester abortions. Tammy Cromanacre runs the state's only abortion clinic in Fargo. Tammy Cromanacre, "Each patient is unique and our doctor needs to be able to make decisions about what kind of care a patient is going to receive." The doctor's hands would be tied with this bill. Jackson, supporters of more restrictive laws appear increasingly emboldened, 46 years after the landmark Roe v. Wade ruling protecting reproductive rights. David S. Cohen, the anti-abortion movement is looking at this newly conservative Supreme Court and hoping that Trump's new justices, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, will vote to overturn a precedent that's almost 50 years old. Jackson, abortion rights advocates argue the new moves are unconstitutional with the legal fight headed from the states to the justices. Hallie Jackson, NBC News. NB Daily Bias by omission. Covert liberal activists labeling political groups pro-choicers pro-lifers. Abortion broadcast television. NBC Nightly News. Ohio video. Hallie Jackson. Savannah Guthrie.